3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, it's Kelly with Fit Station. Thank you for joining me again. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about nutrition and what I do to get ready for the week for nutrition. I have a lot of questions about that because I think there's a lot of confusion out there, and the key is to be consistent and to keep it simple. So I'm going to show you how I personally do that. So I usually start my day off with some water and hot lemon, warm, and that's usually just to get me started, and then I hit myself up with some skim milk and an ounce of espresso. I like a good kick in the morning, so that's it right there. I always have my 1 liter bottle of water, so I usually try and drink this in between meals, so I end up with about 3 to 4 liters of water per day. All right, so first I'm going to start you off with my meal number 1. So what I have here in meal number 1 is ground turkey with white potatoes, which are cooked in grapeseed oil, and steamed kale. I'm going to add to that 1/4 of an avocado. So that's going to give me my starch, my lean protein, my fibrous vegetable, and my healthy fat because my brain needs to stay healthy. All right, so then we're going to move on to my snack. And I am usually busy during the day, so I try and keep my snacks nice and simple. I still have that liter of water I'm trying to get in before I get to lunch. So I start with a protein shake. And then that protein shake does not have a lot of carbohydrates, so I'm going to add in a fruit. And this is a lower sugar fruit, and so I get a little bit of carbohydrates with my protein. And then we're going to move on to meal 3, again, another liter of water. And with this meal, I have baked chicken, which is about 4 ounces, and then a 1/2 cup of black beans out of the can, and baked okra, so nice and simple. And with that, since this is going to be my post-workout meal, I'm going to add some sugary pineapple, which I love, and it's delicious, and pineapple has a chemical in it which helps ease muscle pain, so that's one of my favorites. And then we're going to move on to my 3rd snack, which I usually have this protein bar, whichever type. I like for my protein bars to have at least 20 grams of protein. I also will use this again for green tea. I do not add any sugar, but you can use maybe a teaspoon of honey or stevia if you would like that with green tea. And I choose green tea because of the antioxidants and for that pick-me-up. So I try to have this between 2 and 4 o'clock, not after 4 o'clock, so not too much caffeine. And then my last meal is going to be just baked tilapia with creamed spinach. The spinach is from the frozen section. It's already got the cream and everything made for you. And then grilled asparagus. I usually get all this stuff in the oven at one time, and I get all my meal prep done for the week, usually Monday through Friday. It takes me about an hour and a half in the kitchen. That's it. So then I can tell you about what the calories are. So my first meal here, I had 4 ounces of ground turkey, 1/4 of an avocado, 1 cup of kale, steamed or raw, 3/4 cup of roasted potatoes, and that does have 1 tablespoon of grapeseed oil on it, and then 1 cup of skim milk with 1 ounce of espresso. That gave me 445 calories, 42 carbs, 46 grams of protein, and 10 grams of fat. Then moving on to my snack, I had a Fairlife protein shake and a Fuji apple, which gave me 230 calories, 26 carbs, 30 grams of protein, and 2.5 grams of fat. And then moving on to my meal number 2, or midday meal, I had 4 ounces of baked chicken, 2 cups of baked okra, 1/2 cup of black beans, and 1 cup of fresh pineapple. That ended up being 380 calories, 50 carbs, 36 grams of protein, and 3 grams of fat. And then my protein bar, so I choose a Quest bar. I think the one I looked up was the strawberry cheesecake, and that was 160 calories, 25 grams of carbs, 20 grams of protein, and 4.5 grams of fat. And then I did have the green tea with that, which had no calories. And then my 3rd and final meal for the day for dinner was 6 ounces of tilapia baked, 1/2 cup of creamed spinach, and 4 ounces of roasted asparagus. And that gave me 305 calories, 11 grams of carbs, 37 grams of protein, and 12 grams of fat. So for today, without an evening snack, I ended up with 1,520 calories. My calorie range personally is usually about 1,500 to 1,800 depending on my activity. I had 169 grams of protein, 162 carbs, and 31 grams of fat. So also so you know, I hit my fiber goals. I had 46 grams of fiber, which is more than the daily recommended amount. I had less than 61 grams of sugar, which is again less than the allowable daily amount. I had less than 300 grams or milligrams of cholesterol, and I had only 9 grams of saturated fat, which is also lower than the recommended value. I also ended up with about 4 liters of water by the end of the day. So that is what I do. That's just an example of what I do during the week, Monday through Friday. Easy meals, already pre-prepped, ready to grab. I have about 4 to 5 vegetables made and about 3 proteins and 2 to 3 starches. During the week, just grab and go, get them ready, put them in the bag, let's go. And then that keeps me from cheating, and that keeps me on schedule, keeps my body in good nutrients. So my macronutrients with these meals for the day was about 40% protein, 40% carbohydrates, and about 20% fats. I usually like to keep my proteins between 30 and 40% and my carbohydrates about 40%. And my fats I kind of vary between 20 to 30%. So that kind of gives you an idea of a range of where I stay and how to eat healthy and quick without having to hit fast food places. Okay, so I would like you to notice that the proteins I chose were all lean forms of protein, which was ground turkey, chicken breast, and fish. I do try to stay with the lean proteins for the majority of my diet. Not to say that I don't have a steak every once in a while, but for the majority, I do try to choose those lean proteins. The majority of my fiber was coming from fibrous vegetables, and I do like to fill my day with vegetables. Vegetables and fruits are full of micronutrients, vitamins, and minerals that we primarily just get from those. And then my starches, I chose potatoes and beans. I am gluten-free, so most of my starches do come from a potato or a bean, something like that. I don't use a lot of alternative gluten-modified foods. And then my fats were pretty much primarily healthy fats from the avocado. I used grapeseed oil, which is a better oil to cook with, but it is also a healthy oil, and it does not change its compound when it hits a certain temperature. Also, the olives that are in my fish would be another healthy type of fat that I chose. So, if you like this video and would like to learn more, or would like to see other nutrition videos, please hit us up, click that like button, and subscribe. Thanks for joining us. Okay guys, so I told you that my food for this day was about 1,500 calories, and my range is between 1,500 and 1,800, with my macros being 40% protein, 40% carbohydrates, and 20% fats. So as you've seen, Tom has had some food information, nutrition information out there as well, and you might have noticed that his calories are quite a bit higher than mine. Well, all of us need to know how many calories we should take in and where our macros should lie. That would depend on your activity level and what you're trying to achieve as well. So if you would like to know more about that, that'd be a great opportunity for you to send us a question and answer, and we'll be happy to answer you. Or we could even go into coaching and get specific to help you with your nutritional needs. Something else you might notice is that I'm always pairing my carbohydrates with some form of protein, and that's also very important. And we could also go over that if you'd like to send us a question or two to ask us more about nutrition. We'd be happy to help you.